Evening, everybody. I'm Senior Officer Tim Brooke. This is the Town of Bedford Community Meeting for the 25th of January 2022, Tuesday evening. Since the vast majority of people who are going to see this are online, hopefully there are some people online now watching the live stream. Our guest speaker tonight is going to be the retiring Chief of Police, Chief Todd Foreman, most accessible man in local government. So if anybody's got any questions for Chief Foreman that they would like asked during the live stream, if you could go ahead and send those questions in on our Facebook page right now. Otherwise, I am going to continue and take a look at December in review. We're going to look at the calls for service and call of the month, and then we're going to transition into some comments from the Chief, and then maybe a couple of questions, hopefully from the audience, for Chief Foreman. All right, in the month of December, we answered a lot of calls for service. I'm going to try to track the same type of call from month to month instead of trying to inundate you with too much information. Essentially, the system that we use to track our calls had gone down in late October, early November, and just recently got stood back up. So the mental health calls still seem to be very much a time-consuming and service that we're providing. Hopefully with the lengthening of the days, people will start feeling a little bit better about things. It seems to be an uptick in DUIs, a lot of traffic stops, a lot of traffic crashes. Those vehicle accidents incorporate both traffic crashes that occurred in the roadway and traffic crashes on private property. Seem to be a lot of animal calls during the month of December. We will see if we're noticing any trends when we get together in February to review the January data. All right, next, call of the month. So, alibi, before we go to call of the month, I want to make everybody aware that we're still having some issues with folks leaving their vehicles unlocked, and you need to lock your vehicles. You need to make sure your valuables are out of sight. If you're a gun owner, please be responsible. Don't leave a weapon in an unlocked car. All right, that's the PSA for the day. Lock your cars, please. All right, call of the month in December. We had a burglary of a business. So if you're a business owner and you know you've got a security concern, switch up your routine, make sure your cameras are on, make sure you're moving your cameras about. If you're using a hide key, make sure you're moving that hide key around. I wouldn't even recommend using a hide key if you're a business owner, because not everybody works at the business is as invested as you are in the security of your business. But fortunately, this incident has been successfully resolved with the arrest of an offender from the burglary of this business. And with that, I'm going to circle back around to let me ask our operator. Have we got any questions from the audience yet, Woody?
No.
All right, super. Without further ado, comments from Chief Foreman.
Good evening, everybody. First off, with what Officer Brooke was talking about locking your vehicle, we do have a video that plays on our TV channel, Centertown TV. You can watch a video of somebody burglarizing cars or breaking into unlocked vehicles and stealing guns, computers. One year we had 11 guns stolen out of unlocked vehicles. We recovered them all. One actually wasn't even reported stolen until we recovered it. So with that, make sure you lock your vehicles. The second thing that he was talking about is security of businesses and your homes. We at the Bedford Police Department, which I'm still a member of the department, have people who have been trained in security assessments of homes and businesses. If you're a resident of the town and you want a security assessment of your home or your business, you can contact the police department at 540-587-6011, 540-587-6011, or email police@bedfordva.gov and ask for somebody to contact you. Because we do these security assessments and we'll be able to come through your business, and this is at no cost to you because it's a service we provide to help our citizens be safe and crime-free. So we'll come through and make sure, talk about locks, key control, talk about windows, doors, outdoor lighting, outdoor bushes, all the things that you need to be aware of to make sure your business is as safe as it can be and as secure as it can be. So if you have questions, concerns, please contact us through calling or through email. And we would be glad to have someone come out and do an assessment for you anytime. We've done numbers of them in the community already, and we're always willing to do more. With that, I'll move on to my retirement. I am retiring as of February 1st. I received a new job offer in December at the very end of the month, and I wanted to give some notice, so I gave a month's notice to the town so we could help work on finding a replacement for me, somebody that can come in here and keep moving the department forward. We have had a lot going on over my time here, and we'll have a lot, hopefully continue with all the projects. We went from Virginia accredited agency to a CLIA, nationally accredited agency during my time. We are working on a new building for the police department at this time with our town council, who's been gracious enough to look at it and look at the size of the space we're in. It's too small for our department. We have a lot of community engagement we do, and this includes this meeting. This meeting has evolved over the years. There was another officer here years ago that started these meetings, Officer Harmony, and he called them CLEAN, and I can't remember what the acronym stood for all the way now. It's Citizens and Law Enforcement, and I can't remember the end, something neighborhoods. We've been doing that, and we eventually made this into a community meeting where we do it this way. With COVID, we worked with Officer Brooke, and we moved it into live stream and feeding it over the internet through, we'll do it on several different methods, but it goes over live on Facebook Live. So that is another thing. But we've done a lot. Our cop camp program started before I was chief, but we continue to move it forward and improve it all we can. We've had National Night Out, which we were recognized this past year. Well, I don't think we've received the award yet, but Officer Brooke did a great job with that, and we received recognition for our community events. We have had 3-on-3 basketball, movie nights. We've done all kinds of things to engage our community. And it's not me, it's our officers who are here. So I may be retiring, but we have the officers that do this work and do it. So even if I'm not here, these things can still move forward and keep going as our officers continue doing them. We want to make sure that we have a safe environment and a safe community, and our officers want to make sure we have the safe community. Our officers are the best officers in the state of Virginia. I would stand up for all of our officers, and they do a great job. That is one of the things that make it difficult for me to retire, but it also makes it easier because I know that the community is in great hands. And I know that our town manager, Bart Warner, will bring a great chief in behind me to keep moving the department forward. So I know that we're going to be in good shape. We're going to be in good, doing well. I am not going anywhere. I'm still going to be involved in our community. I'll be working from my home, traveling occasionally, but I will be here, so I will still be involved in this community a lot. So if you see me out and about, please stop and speak to me still. I want to be involved in our community. I want to be involved in local government, so I want to be here for people. I've served between the military and the police department and working in the prisons. I've served our different communities in different parts of the Commonwealth for basically my entire life, working life. So I have a heart for service, so I want to continue to keep doing that. So if you need something, please let me know. I'm going to give Officer Brooke time to ask me questions now. And I don't know, any came in, please send them in. Woody's monitoring the Facebook live feed, so if you have questions, please send them to me. I'll try my best to answer them.
All right. And Chief, we know we've got some people watching us live right now.
Okay.
And we know that it's going to get reposted and reposted.
Yes.
So I did come up with some questions.
Okay.
Enjoyed your comments. How about, why did you choose law enforcement as a career?
Basically because I like serving people, and I know that's a pat answer, but I like serving people. I like serving kids. I was very well known in some of the apartment complexes when I was a patrol officer because I would show up in there and have badges, candy, all different things that the kids, because I wanted to build relationships with the kids. So I got into it for that reason after serving a lot of time in the Army National Guard and through college.
What do you feel like that you accomplished your goal of establishing relationships in the community?
I think this community has a very good relationship with the police department. So yes, I think we've done a good job with that. I don't know if it was all me. I give credit to people like you and others in our department who've worked hard at doing it too. But the officers in this department have made this community better by building relationships.
Why did you choose a career path that led you down the leadership? I remember you were my shift supervisor at one time, and then you became an administrator, and that was the first time that I realized that there was a line of departure from being an hourly person to being a salaried person, more responsibility. So why did you choose to go that route as opposed to staying hourly?
I was on patrol shift. I was a patrol sergeant when Chief Day came here, and Chief Day became a mentor to me over the years, and he offered me some training that I was able to attend. And through that training, I was able to see that I could help direct the department and direct the direction of the department overall through missions and values and visions. I mean, we changed the values of the department, the core values of the department after I was chief, to innovation, teamwork, integrity, courage, and respect. So we changed to those because I wanted to change it to something where we could make a difference with the community and I could guide those things, and through his mentorship, I got the training I needed so I could move through the different ranks.
So, do you feel like you accomplished your goal of cultural shift as a police department?
Yes. Well, I think I have, yes. One of the things that because we've hired some really good people, and we have had really good people here working with us, I think that's helped change the culture, but as we brought new people in, the people that stayed with us, such as yourself, helped change the culture of the police department with me. So I think it's been, because teamwork is one of the core values I have, and I think it's been a team effort between all of the members of the department and myself. We've been a team. I definitely am not the guy that did it all. I am definitely a guy that helped maybe focus direction, and then everybody else took us in that direction.
Well, that's, you've operated, at the tactical, operational, and your final post here at the strategic level of, doing the vision thing and pointing the department in the right direction. As a police officer, why don't you put your police officer hat back on? As a police officer, what's your favorite memory?
It's a recent one actually that sticks with me the most.
And
I'll tell you some other ones too.
Okay.
The one, and I've mentioned this several times recently to people, but there was one, because Shop with a Cop is something that I really like doing, because we can make a difference in kids' lives as we go walking through shopping with the kids and building the relationships with them and them getting to know that we're just people like them. But there was a young man that I did this with, and when we were walking out of the store, and if his mom and him are listening, then they'll know who I'm talking about. But as we walked out of the store and we were walking back towards our cars, we were just chatting and talking, and he was saying something, and then all of a sudden he stopped and he said, "I'll never forget you were this." And that stuck with me because it was something, it's a time where, and his mom looked at me, she said, "He's telling you the truth, he won't forget this." And so if I can make that impact on him that one time doing something nice with him, is where it's one of my favorite memories.
You know, I was at a community event a couple months ago, and a gentleman I didn't know walked up to me and credited you with saving his life. And I remember it had something to do with some sort of criminal thing, but so, you know, you, me, the rest of the police officers out there, we will not know, you know,
Yes.
we won't be able to say, at the end of my career, I have affected X number of lives.
Mm-hmm. There's, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I can think of two recent interactions with people. One was a young girl that I actually stopped her. I was a patrolman, and she was coming into town on 416. She was leaving. So I stopped her to check on her because leaving's a sign of being intoxicated or something's wrong.
I know you've arrested.
Yes, I arrested a few DUIs. But when I approached the car, she was tired. She'd been working a long day and she was tired. And she remembers me saying, and I checked with her and she said, well, I'm awake now because you stopped me. And it wakes people up. The blue lights wake people up. But I also decided that, and I told her, I said, I'll follow you home, make sure you get home safely. And she still remembers that and told me about that, how she appreciated that. And then another lady came to me recently and told me about how I impacted her. And this is, every police officer has done these things. I worked with Sergeant Nelms and he taught me to take care of people when they needed it. But this person had run out of fuel. So I went and I bought a gas can of fuel and bought back and put it in their car and helped them to get where they were going. And she remembered that and thanked me for it because she had her daughter in the car with her. And she's like, I was lost at what I was going to do because I didn't have any money. I wasn't sure where I was going to go and I was stuck. And she reached out to me recently and thanked me for that. And these are things that I don't take as big deals for me. It's just what we do is we help people. All the police officers here would help someone in those situations. Sergeant Nelms always bought gas for people and helped them. But and I know it's a big deal for the citizens because they're willing to come back, or the people we've affected are willing to come back and tell us. But for us, we're just trying to serve and do what we do. And I think that's for every police officer I've got working in this department.
Well, and I know Sergeant Nelms still lives in our community.
Yes.
So, just absolutely wonderful that he was passed that legacy on to you.
Yes.
And you've been able to share it with other officers. What's your favorite memory as chief? As chief. You've been chief since 2014. As chief.
As chief. Well, we've done a lot of big things as chief. Some of the, that's a harder question for me now. Because as chief, I've directed the department. Yes.
Do you have a favorite year?
A favorite year? It was probably one of my first years because it was when I first was learning and getting into it. And learning how to be a police chief, because none of us know how to do it until we get there.
Yes.
So I was learning all the steps and all the things and getting guidance from Chief Day, from chiefs all around the region that I would talk to and things going on like that. My favorite memory, I'm still thinking through them, but because there's so many things that have happened. Some of the things that the accomplishments that we've made and where we've all worked together as a team to get them done. I mean, Cop Camp is probably this last year was up at where we were able to work out with Thomas Road Outpost, TRO. It was probably some of the favorite memories there because you got to see the kids in a different environment for the whole week. Because my very first year we went up there for one day, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago. And then we had to skip a year because of COVID, and we went back. Yeah.
2018 or 2019, we skipped 2019.
Yeah, and then we were back up there for the whole week this year. And to watch the kids up there, because we had children up there that had never experienced. They were from Bedford. They lived in town, but they'd never been out in the woods that far. So it was a new experience for them. So that's affecting kids that way. I mean, a lot of my career has been doing things to try to build relationships with kids because they're the ones that we can really make the difference with.
You answered the what's next. One of my favorite memories when I first got hired back in 2005, the captain at the time showed me a video of you jumping in the back of a very small pickup truck on a very snowy night. So, would you would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, and I did a podcast here. I've been doing it, and it will continue on. It may not be on there, every time now, but the podcast will continue. Cop Talk Podcast. So if you want to subscribe, you can. Yeah, throw a little plug in there. But I offered a $100 gift card to anybody that found that video.
That's what I've heard.
But there's only one person that found it, and she was on the news, and she must not listen to the podcast because she never came to collect it. So she can still come to collect it. It made it to the news. It was WDBJ7 played the video. But it was a cold night. It was icy, like you said. It was snowy. It was icy. I got behind it. A car came by, and it was back when we could stop cars for loud stereos because it was a primary fence back then. So I got behind the car, followed it, got it stopped. And when I opened up my vehicle, it was really hot outside, so they rolled their window down and had the heat on. And as a police officer, you experience this, that the smells out of a vehicle is hot, and when it's really cold outside, come out and they come back towards the other vehicle. And as I was walking up, I could smell a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, which was probably beer. But I stopped the car, I started asking him questions. He started giving me information that wasn't correct about his name. When I started questioning him more about trying to figure out who he was, and this was my mistake, I didn't make sure he put the car in park, I don't think. I don't remember 100%. But all of a sudden the vehicle started pulling off and knocked my flashlight out of my hand. And I don't know why, but I jumped into the back of the truck. We rode the truck down the road. I got him to stop through using my weapon. Didn't hurt him. He stopped the vehicle. I ended up arresting him for driving under the influence and felony elude. And he actually told me he thought I was running beside the truck to get him to stop. And he was going probably 35, 40 miles an hour. So that was his intoxication level.
I think the first time I saw the video, it was on Good Morning America.
Yes. Yeah, the next night I got some calls from Inside Edition, and it had been on the local news. And I thought the dispatchers were messing with me that night when they called me and said, Inside Edition's on the phone to talk to you.
Do you have any advice for the next chief of police?
Well, get to know the community is the biggest thing, and follow and keep building those relationships, and keep the relationships that we built. This department and this community is going to expect to have community engagement. They're going to expect to engage the community. So I would tell whoever comes in behind me, and I'm not going to replace the person whose job I'm taking. They're not going to replace me, but they're going to take the department and hopefully move it forward. I'm going to move where I'm going. I'm hopefully going to move the position forward. But everybody can have somebody come in and do that, and I just hope that they come in, and my advice to them would be build a relationship with the community, get to know the people in the community, and continue our community engagement programs.
Well, Chief, thank you for your service, for your leadership, and thank you for being my guest speaker tonight.
Thank you. And thank you for your service to us, too. So you've had many years of service to the military and police.
Oh, yeah, a couple.
Yeah, we were in the military together, too.
We were. So,
I was a waterman, he was a scout.
So that was in what, 94?
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Yeah, second in 116.
Yep.
29 veterans.
Yes.
Right here. All right, hey everybody, I'm Senior Officer Brooke. Stay in tune on our Facebook page, so I'll announce our next town community meeting. I would also like to let everybody know you are welcome to attend in person if you wish. Otherwise, I appreciate your time this evening and in the future when it gets reposted. Thank you.
Thanks.